This is a story, a short story. One there was a Chassid Chabad, and he was on his way to the Rebbe the day before Yom Kippur, and he got confused on the way, and it ended up that he became stuck. He was directed to a Jewish town. He went to the town. It was a town of Kantanistim. Kantanistim were Jews that were the victims of a terrible plan by the czars of Russia to strip Jews from their Judaism. What was the plan? To induct all Jewish children into the army. They induct all Jewish children into the army, and they would take children away from their parents, even at the age of 5, 6 years old. They would grab them away, and they would treat them really nice at first, and they would this, and then they would feed them not kosher food. They would make them work on Shabbat, and eventually they would wean them away from Judaism and make them. But there were children that resisted. There were children that resisted, and those children that were resisted were usually beaten and tortured and starved. And there were some of them that survived. Some of them that survived. Some of them survived by pretending to eat not kosher food. Some of them made even gave in, and they did these, but they didn't leave their Judaism. However, it is when they got out of the Russian army. So a lot of these, they were called the Kantanistim, and they were so, I say, disturbed and traumatized by the whole experience that they couldn't get along with anybody else, and they didn't get married. They made a little village on their own. So this Chassid happened to be that he came to this village. And he came to this village, and when they came, they all bowed down to him and they kissed his hands, holy rabbi, and everything. So he said, you know, it's going to be Yom Kippur. They said, yes, yes, we're so happy to see you. You can lead the congregation. So listen, I don't have to lead the congregation. No, you lead the congregation. But the last prayer, the Ne'ilah prayer, we want to lead. One of us will lead. So he said, okay, you can do all of them. No. You do all. There's 5 prayers on Yom Kippur. The last one is the highest prayer. You say the first 4, we'll say. They said, all right. So he said the first prayer is very nice. Everybody was crying and it was beautiful. And the last prayer, so the rabbi sat down and one of their congregation got up on the podium and he took off his shirt. And on his shirt was deep scars. It was all scarred on his back, scars over scars over scars. Ridges, whole ridges of scars where they beat him in order to leave his Judaism. So he said, God in heaven, I want you to answer our prayers and send Mashiach. I'm not praying for our families because we don't have any families. I'm not praying that our businesses should succeed because we don't have any businesses. I'm not praying that our future should be good because we don't have any future. We're stuck in this place. We can't. I'm praying you, telling you should send Mashiach for the same reason that I served you all these years, refused to leave my Judaism. What? Just do it for your sake, God. Do it for your sake. And then he started to pray. And that should be a lesson to us. Why we do all the commandments is just for your sake. God willing, we'll meet on Yom Rishon. And we'll learn. Maybe I'll say another story. Here we go.